Wait. So you're telling me Shakur Stevenson is worth 25%? Let's get into it. All right, it's Snapside Media coming at you guys with another video. Is Shakur Stevenson worth 25%? That's the question of today that we're going to be answering. A lot of people have been asking my take on this, and I'm going to give it to you guys. So Shakur Stevenson obviously received a fight offer from Devin Haney, an official fight offer to fight for 135-pound titles, undisputed, in a title defense against Shakur Stevenson. You know, Devin's made it clear that he wants 75% and he's willing to give Shakur 25%. Now, a lot of people like to talk about George Kambosos. Take that for example. Devin Haney took 25% against him, whatever the number was around there. You know, he took a very little amount of the 100% that was going to be broken, you know, between the two fighters. And, you know, that's the sacrifice he was willing to make against a guy like George Kambosos. He was so confident that he was going to win, that he was willing to, you know, deal with the consequences of, you know, taking less money, taking the cut, and still traveling into George Kambosos' backyard, beating him, and then with the included rematch clause, having to fight him again, so he had to do it 2 times, was willing to, you know, deal with all of that. So people are saying that Shakur Stevenson should take that leap, take the 25%, and then, you know, go on to fight Devin Haney, beat him. If you're really confident you're going to beat him, 25%, that's nothing, you know, but I'll take it because I know after that I get all the leverage. That's what people are saying Shakur Stevenson should do. I agree with, you know, part of that. I think there's a lot of gray area where Shakur Stevenson isn't Devin Haney in respects to Shakur is fighting Devin. That's a very different matchup than Devin fighting George, if you guys understand what I'm saying. I don't think anyone really saw Devin, you know, having trouble with George. I didn't. I don't think any of you guys did. But he went in there, beat him pretty easily, put on a clinic. Not once, but 2 times. So that tells me it was an easy fight for him. Devin and Shakur is a very close fight in my opinion. I think there are a lot of close rounds, especially early on, competitive rounds when the guys are both fresh. It's going to come down to stamina, factors like that. But what I'm trying to say is this is a very close fight. I think a lot of people are forgetting that. It's a very close fight. It's way more competitive than I think George Kambosos and Devin Haney was. So in that case, Shakur Stevenson is bringing more value than Devin was to George, because Devin, we already knew Devin was going to do that. In this fight, we don't know. So was Shakur worth 25%? I don't think so. I think that Shakur is smart by waiting. You know, you never accept the first offer that you get, because anyone in negotiating, not only in boxing, if you're buying a house, you're buying a car, you never go with the first option that you're presented with, because you know you can get that down. And if you really want to provide the best amount of money for yourself and for your family, this is a business. Boxing is a business. It's about finances, providing for your family, you know, and getting that money, because at the end of the day, these guys are taking 2-3 months out of their lives to train for this one night. And at Shakur's level, he deserves that level of compensation to be rewarded with afterwards. And I think 25% just isn't enough. You know, at the end of the day, I know that he could easily, you know, not easily, but he could go on and, you know, fight Devin, take the 25%, and then you get all the leverage and you get to call the shots. You get to say, I want this amount of money. Then you're going to actually get it because you're undisputed at that point. You know, assuming that Shakur wins against Devin, you know, that's a big if. But, you know, I think he could pull it off. I think I favor Shakur in that fight, actually. But the problem is, 25%, Shakur's made it clear that he made more than that in his last 3 fights, as opposed to the 25%. And then we have guys like Regis Prograis who've recently gone on record saying, you know, he's got an offer from Devin. But, you know, he wasn't talking about anything because the money that he saw, you know, it's not worth it. It's nothing. So these guys are going to make more money fighting other guys, substantially more money. And then, you know, Devin's going to talk about, I sent an offer. You know, Devin's just putting that offer out there, but 25%, Shakur was undisputed. He basically wiped out his whole weight class, and he's coming up a weight class. He's wiped out everybody 130 and under. He's wiped out those guys. There's nobody that could beat him. So he's going to go to 135 and he gets 25%. I mean, I understand Devin's a shot caller. I'm not saying Devin, it should be a 50-50 split, but I'm saying Devin has to come down with that, with his, you know, price. You know, he has to give up some of that, whatever 75% that he was talking about. He has to bring that to maybe 65. Now we're talking 65-35. Give Shakur that extra 10%. That's a reasonable offer. if Shakur denies that, then you can kind of say, okay, maybe he's not really about it. But 60-40, bam, that makes the fight, in my opinion. That makes the fight easily. But it's more so about Devin. Is he willing to give up that money? Because I think he knows at the end of the day that Shakur's a problem. So he has to make sure that he gets as much money, in that fight. Because, he's not sure what's going to happen. He's not going to knock out Shakur. He might beat him in a decision, but in a decision, it's hard. You know how hard it is to beat a Shakur Stevenson, and I think that's why it's so hard for Devin to give up more than 75%. Take less than 75% if you're Devin. It's hard for him because he knows the risk that he's taking fighting a guy like Shakur who hasn't necessarily earned the path. So this is Devin's way of saying, hey, you gotta take this. I'm gonna call the shots. I'm undisputed, and it's up to Shakur. He's obviously declined the 25% offer, and he's ordered the fight to take place. So that's up to the commission, the sanctioning to order the fight. We know that having a fight ordered by the WBA, the WBO, the WBC, the IBF, whatever you want, that doesn't necessarily mean the fight's going to happen. And it helps. I think it helps, but it's definitely not a sure thing. So hopefully this is an action and, a step in the right direction where Devin Haney and Shakur could potentially get it on maybe at the end of this year because, if it's not Devin Haney, it's going to be Teofimo Lopez, who's recently come out of retirement. So another tremendous fight, but I think it should be Devin and Shakur just because Teofimo, he's more at that 140 stage, and I think Shakur obviously getting his feet wet at 135 pounds, ready for those big names, those big fights. So why not make Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson? Devin, give him a little more than 25%. Let him, let's work together. Make the fight happen. Shakur said send a real offer, champ. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, 25%. Do you guys think that's enough for Shakur Stevenson to receive? Is it fair for him? I don't know. I think his reputation and his skill is a little bit worth more than 25%. I'd probably go 35 or 40% for Shakur. Definitely not a 50-50 split because Devin's undisputed. But that's my opinion on the situation. Let me know in the comments how much you guys think Shakur deserves in this fight. But thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.
That's going to do it for another NASFight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.